And welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. Where's the chat? Let's get the chat up on the screen. Going to talk about things about Celtic this morning. I'll never change that. Here's an interesting one that I think we should talk about. I'll just update this. Let's get it all the same size. I've got to check that. That's fine. All right, we're going to be talking about a player from another team. Celtic have been looking at strikers. They've been looking at Kyogo Furiashi, allegedly. It's a position that when a lot of people are saying, look, is there anybody out there in Scotland that we could get into Celtic? There's one player at Hibs that the name seems to be coming up again. But when you look at the stats, he's no better than Johnny Kenny. I'm just saying there, and at 23-year-old, people are saying there's a thing out there saying that he's got a market value of around about just over $1 million. Scottish media are saying that it'll cost $3 million to get Kieran Bowie from Hibs. Let me just show you some interesting stats from the player. So there's a striker, 23-year-old. He's a year older than Johnny Kenny, who's at the club. He's contracted with Hibs until 2028. He scored 6 goals this season. 6 goals all season, which you might think's great, you might think's not. I mean, what's Johnny Kenny scored? But when you look at the heat map, this is where his shot map, right? And this is where he's taken 39 shots. This is how bad Celtic have gotten. There's a lot of people online talking about it. I mean, even Chris Sutton's been talking about it this morning. We'll go into the Kyogo article from Chris Sutton in just a couple of minutes. But the one from Kieran Bowie, is he really any better? Because when you look at that, 41% are on target. He should be doing a little bit better. But when you look at 39 shots, a goal return of 6 goals, that's not the best piece of business, is it? I mean, is it just replacing like for like? I mean, is he really better than Johnny Kenny? That should be the poll question this morning. There we go. Start a poll. There's your poll question. Who's the better player, Kieran Bowie or Johnny Kenny? Let's get Johnny Kenny's stats up, because you need to make a fair comparison. Johnny Kenny. We'll get his stats up also. And we'll compare the two players. There we go. There's Johnny Kenny. And his stats, we'll get his goal. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Johnny Kenny's had 31 shots on goal with 4 goals of a return. Kieran Bowie has had 39 shots on goal with 6 goals. So it is interesting. Johnny Kenny's played 503 minutes. Come on. I think that Johnny Kenny's stats are better because Kieran Bowie's played twice the amount of game time. Season performance, he's played Kieran Bowie's played 1,336 minutes of game time, where Johnny Kenny has had only 503 minutes. So tell me your thoughts in the comments. Who is the better player? There is a poll question going on. Who is the better player? And who would you rather be at Celtic? Would you rather just keep Johnny Kenny and going with Johnny Kenny? Or would you want to spend the $3 million? That's interesting because it's split right down the middle. I will go into the stats again for those that are late joining. of the two players. And I think statistically, with minutes played, Johnny Kenny is the better player. That's my thought, but you people might have other things. Tell me in the comments. Bowie will get more chances at Celtic. Wait a minute now. Look at the chances that he's had. I mean, let's not make stuff up now. I mean, these are the stats from a very, very well informed site. Now, this is the shot map from Kieran Bowie. He's had 39 shots at goal. How is he going to get any more than what Johnny Kenny would have had? That's the question. Because the two of them are playing, but he's had more minutes on the pitch. So your question saying that he would get more shots at Celtic, it's kind of irrelevant because he's had more minutes on the pitch at Hibs. So he's had 6 goals all season. Some interesting stats for you this morning. But anyway, that is Kieran Bowie of Hibs. Just go back up there and show you that. He is a year older. He's only a year older than Johnny Kenny. People talking about experience and all the rest of it. I don't know if he's played more first team football. He came from Rafe Rovers to Northampton Town. Northampton Town to Hibernian. And he only joined Hibernian in 2024. A bit like Johnny Kenny coming back to Celtic in 2024. For me, it doesn't warrant 3 million. I mean, we got Johnny Kenny for 500 grand or something, wasn't it? It was cheap as chips. It was bonkers money. Let's get Johnny Kenny stats up. Johnny Kenny obviously came to the Sligo Rovers back in 2022, and then he was in the Celtic B team, went to Queen's Park on loan, and then went to Shamrock Rovers on loan, where he scored 25 goals. And he's came back on loan in January 2025. He's only been here since January, Johnny Kenny. But people are like, that nullifies everything that you've just said. I'm going to say. If Johnny Kenny got a goal or two to boost his confidence, we might see a different player, says Sean. Yeah, I think so. The stats, he's been at Celtic. I mean, there it's there. January 2025. Kieran Bowie has been at Hibernian since August 2024. So he's got a season and a half more. Well, he's got half a season, really. Half a season more than Johnny Kenny in Scottish football. Does it make him the better player? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section this morning. Anyway, the Celtic manager says that Kieran Tierney is the benchmark. Oof, big one. Kieran Tierney is the benchmark for players that I want at the club. Tierney's been brought back to Celtic by the previous manager, but Nancy says that he can become a key player as he wants to implement his own style of play. Wilfred Nancy's had a crash course in life at Celtic, the article goes on to say. After a big 3 weeks, it's only been 3 weeks, it's like a lifetime, isn't it? Who else feels like it's been longer than 3 weeks? Would anyone back Nancy if we get beat today? Stevie, if we get beat by the bottom club in the bottom club in the SBFL that have scored, that are on 9 points, any manager would get sacked. Come on. Let's not just pick on Wilfred Nancy here. If we get beat by Livingston. If Celtic were to get beat by the bottom club of the table, that would be any manager would be going. Come on, Baz, we're going to replace the Kyogo. No, we're not. That's just ridiculous. And in fact, let's talk about that because the big man himself, Chris Sutton's been talking about in his article. Replacing Kyogo with himself would be a Celtic transfer admission. But I take him in a heartbeat, says Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton's talking nonsense. Has he watched any of the games with Kyogo? Chris Sutton doesn't hold back, and he says that Celtic should be going for Kyogo Furiashi. He fucking downed tools at Celtic. No, I think that the manager... bullshit. Reading stories. I think that the Celtic manager has to go forward. I think that bringing Kyogo back. Well, there's the poll question. If we were to bring Kyogo back, does that undermine the manager? There's the question for you. Yeah, let's. How's that other poll down? Tell me in the comment section. Does bringing Kyogo Furiashi back to Celtic undermine the manager? Because it's not going forward. He's got shoulders like Tierney's legs. Ay, ay, ay. A big part of fall from grace for Good Willie. What are you talking about Good Willie for? What's he been up to? Who cares? Who cares? Kyogo's not the answer, exactly. Your man from MLS, Rossi, on his way. Allegedly, but we don't know. You won't know until it's kind of it's confirmed from an agent. Oh, that's no progress. The board being the board. He is cheaper than Rossi. But then, is that a slap in the face to the Celtic manager? If we were to go for Kyogo Furiashi, does it undermine the manager? And then what is the point of the manager? Tisdale isn't earning his money if Kyogo is top of the list. Well, this is very true. Lacks ambition, shows their scouting department if Kyogo comes back. Boom. Rossi's on his way, which is a much better option. I think so. I think the manager will get his way. And he's already said that, look, I want players the standard of Kieran Tierney to be the benchmark. Winford Nancy's obviously counting down the day until January window opens, hoping to get some reinforcements in, because let's face it, Celtic badly need reinforcements. But he's also got one player that he said, I didn't need to do any homework on Kieran Tierney. You know, he's had a fantastic career. I know all about Kieran Tierney. His time at Celtic, Arsenal and Scotland. And it kind of puts paid to the nonsense that, what does this Wilfred Nancy know about Scottish football? What does he know about European football? He's been in America. He's French, and he brought in a guy for Fenerbahce to the MSL. Or whatever it is, the Major League Soccer. But anyway, getting a close-up looking at Kieran Tierney and his traits, he says he's a fantastic player. He has a lot of ability in terms of the way that we play. Talking about Kieran Tierney, did Wilfred Nancy. He says, it is important when you sign players, they need to have personality. This is a big club. To play here is not always easy, said the Celtic manager. We won a game against Aberdeen a few days ago, but I will be more demanding because this week I believe we can do more. That's the direction and the communication that I've had with the players. When you give someone a challenge, they enjoy it. We must find the right balance at the club. Kieran Tierney falls into the bracket. Nancy was impressed with Kieran Tierney before he came to him, and he was even more impressed with his late crucial goal against Aberdeen. There's been some chaos and confusion with the implement of the new manager's system. Everybody knows Kieran. I knew him before I came here. He's a really important player for us. I think it should be putting people at ease, the fact that he obviously knows, I mean, this nonsense that he doesn't know European football and stuff, but he knew who Kieran Tierney was. Good managers know who good players are from around the leagues. So, anyway, we'll find out if we're getting Rossi at 23.59 on 31st of January. Great! That'll be the watch along of all watch alongs. There are different people in the club. Kieran Tierney is not a vocal leader, but shows on the pitch. Callum McGregor is another who shows on the pitch, but he is a vocal leader also. We have other players like this. When I talk about personalities, it's about right attitude and what it means when we attack. Keep on showing ourselves for each other. We still keep on pressing. Crazy. We defend like crazy in the moment, but it's more about attitude for me, and this is what I am looking for in players. Oof. The manager's starting to settle in at Celtic, I think. It was a rough ride the first couple of weeks. I think that the manager finally getting his feet under the table, as they say, and getting his own players in. He'll be judged like every other manager with the new players. Let's face it. Somebody's asking about Diego Rossi. Let's use the same site to get the stats up of Diego Rossi. I'll go with Sofa score ratings for this one. Right, Diego Rossi. I don't want to confirm. It's an interesting one because he's went from between Fenerbahce and American clubs at his time. So his weakness is ball control, according to this. His strength is position and passing and anchor play. And they've got him in this position here. Diego Rossi is 27-year-old on the 3rd. He was born on the 3rd of May, 1998. Oh, he was born in 98. We all remember what happened in 98. Could be an omen. And he's 1.70 metres tall, 1 metre 70 tall, plays for Columbus Crew. Prefers to play with his right foot and has his number 10 jersey. It's probably not the best one for stats. It's market value. The Hungarian is valued at 7.7 million euros, which is around about £7 million. It's interesting because we also have another Uruguayan player, don't we, at the club at the moment. That's when I left school, 1998. Jesus, you're a youngin'. I was 10 years before you. But then I left school at 15. Just fuck that. Fucked off to Spain. I am 15 years Rossi's senior. I don't even want to talk about that. Right, anyway, but let's get back to what Chris Sutton said. Chris Sutton said that the squad needs a lot of work. Most areas lack reliable goal scorers. A reliable goal scorer at Celtic is a huge problem, and that's why it's no surprise to me that some people are talking about the prospect of bringing Kyogo Fury Ashe back to Celtic. He had a difficult spell in France. Is now struggling at Birmingham. Kyogo is the name at Celtic for being a lethal finisher, but let's face it, he's been at 2 clubs now. He's a. I mean, I would say that Kyogo's past it. I stay in Birmingham regularly, see Kyogo this season. He's nothing like he was at Celtic. I don't want him back. There you go. I'd love us to buy Sarra. Yes, I didn't mention that we do have another Uruguayan player. Maybe that could be the little. Do you know there is talk about Sarra not getting, not being liked by his manager at the club. Said it was a bit of a. For me, the big move in the summer. I mean, I would even try and buy Sarra now. If we can get Sarra in this window on a permanent basis, just get him in, get the deal done. He's fantastic. He's brilliant for the same position as Kieran Tierney. Takes a little bit of pressure, adds quality into that position. Something that we've never had real quality in that position for a long time. But then again, would the two of them be adaptable to rotation as much as you would need to keep both of them happy? Because both of them see themselves as first team players. But then again, when you're in a big club, big competitions, trying to win titles, you know that there's going to be competition. Sarra is a great player and he could play Nancy still. Keep him here all day long. The deal done. There's no option for Sriracha. No, there isn't any option for Sriracha, and that's one of the weirdest thing about that loan when it came in. You know, Celtic said, "Look, there's no option to buy here," which could be a good thing because then it's not a set fee. It's not a set fee for the player, which means that, you know, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Just look at what happened to Adam Ida. I mean, he was a £3 million player. I think if we had got Adam Ida at £3 million, people would say it was the bargain of the century because he scored 29 goals. And then maybe people wouldn't say Adam Ida's shite. People focus far too much at Celtic on the price tag of players. Casper is a turkey. He's only in goal because of who he is. So the Sarra needs the gloves. We need a striker who scores 20 plus a season. Yeah, you do. Will we teach Sriracha to speak English since he can't speak a single word of it? Well, we had a manager that could speak Spanish, you know, so he's gone. So he's bound to be able to speak some Scottish now, you would think. Anyway, getting back to Chris Sutton, Kyogo made a name for himself at Celtic as a lethal finisher, but he's way off the pace, isn't he? Don't fall for it. I'd have him back in a heartbeat, says Chris Sutton. Do you agree with Chris Sutton? Let's finish that poll off because let's do another one. Right, start poll. Easy one. Do you agree with Sutton? And to not and there we go. Nice easy one for you all this morning. Do you agree with Chris Sutton to get Kyogo back at Celtic? 100% no, straight off the bat. Oh Jesus, there's some doubters that, oh my God, there's some yesers. Who are these people? Who are these people? Show your face. Name yourself. Stand up and be counted. I take Kyogo back. He's a confidence player. He's a confidence player that needs to feel loved to play in his position. Come on, Ray. I know there's a time difference, mate. But really? He's been shite at the last two teams. He's getting passed about like a wee bag on a Friday night. Chris Sutton's just the key holder. He's pulling out the keys. They want a Kyogo. They want a wee Kyogo. Jesus. Casper was scared to drive out on the surface today in case he hurts his shoulder. Hey, here's hoping. There is a Lord. Sriracha is only doing penance from his mother club for being a bad boy. Yeah, but do you think there's not many his manager says that he was disruptive. He was disruptive. That doesn't say to me that he's going to go back to the club. Doesn't say to me that the manager's going to welcome him back with open arms. But anyway, do you agree with Chris Sutton to get Kyogo Furuhashi back at Celtic? Yes, 33%. No, 68%. 32%. Who are these people? Chilpel hit the wrong button. He'd easily get 50k a week here. Who'd get 50k a week here? Kia was a step backwards. Don't agree with Big Chris Sutton on this one. Would the fans welcome Kyogo or do they blame him for Rodgers leaving? I don't think that people blame Rodgers for him leaving. He wanted to stop changing the narrative. Brendan Rodgers stood in front of the camera and said, "We have known for 10 months that Kyogo Furuhashi wanted away from Celtic." Do you know, we didn't sell him at the last minute. He'd been pressuring Celtic to get a move away, and this is the madness of it. Um, but anyway, his last two teams didn't give him love. Ray, you've seen far too many of the lady boys down your neck of the woods. I love you a long time. Kyogo, not for me. Bring back forward players. Gaffers reek of no fresh ideas. So fuck it, just bring Neil Lennon back as well. Just to really fuck things up. I thought Kyogo was rotten last season to 18 months of his spell at Celtic. Liam. Someone with a bit of sense this morning. Would he fit into the new style? I'm not sure, to be honest. A good striker will fit into it. Just London Dykes ahead of Kyogo at Brum shows off how far he's fallen. Yeah, but Dykes seems to get games for Scotland, doesn't he? I suppose that's it. I mean, Scotland striker to Kyogo. Right now, we're playing before Kenny. Ooh, Kyogo suits this style of play. Interesting. Is Shin Yamada not the new Kyogo? Exactly. Shin Yamada was brought in to be better than Kyogo Furiashi. And he's not better than Johnny Kenny on the training pitch, so doesn't get picked. I wonder if he'll get picked today. And we all forgetting we wanted them to away, so fuck him. Kyogo would be under massive pressure to score goals. I don't think that he's good. He's no chance. The great Tisdale will bring in another Iniacho. I think that wasn't him. That was Brendan Rodgers. That wasn't Tisdale. You've got to give Tisdale that one. You've got to give him a bye for that one. Let's be honest. I mean, I know that we don't like the guy, the football doctor. It's more like fucking Doctor Who, as in Doctor Who, not in the one that travels through space time. I think that Brendan Rodgers, that was all down to Brendan Rodgers bringing any actual one. Nothing to do with Tisdale. To be honest, I thought Kyogo's head went down right after 3 months of Brendan Rodgers' leadership. Hence the reason Adam Ida came in on loan. No, Adam Ida came in on loan because we didn't have a backup striker. We'd been calling out for a backup striker for Kyogo. You can't just run with one striker at a club. We'd been calling out for something different. Kyogo would get bullied off the ball from defenders. We're talking about physicality here. And a lot of us, the yes votes must be coming from Birmingham. We're talking about the club needs physicality, right? Let's go backwards and bring in a wee guy that gets knocked off the ball when he's not in play, when he gets shoulder charged by 6'4" defenders, who gets knocked about like a wee rag doll, but people are saying bring him back. And in the same breath, people are saying, we need physicality in the team. Yeah, we need physicality in this team, like. What are you fucking talking about? Bring Kyogo back. No, we need physicality. Big strong man, you. Shut it. What are you talking about? Just fucking bring Kyogo back, you rocket. Kyogo's had his chance for a striker for the next few years. Yep. Can we stop banging on about ex-players? Yeah, exactly. He's no better than Bowie, though. He's not scoring. Either was running on a rail only for scoring 2 goals, but people going Kyogo back's madness. Exactly. Who couldn't kick your what? Listen to you who couldn't kick your arse. I'm not talking about me. You know what I mean? I'm just here as the host, entertaining you lot, reading out your comments. Oh, Jesus. He was supposed to be the next Maeda. He apparently runs faster. Talking about Shin Yamada. It must be in reverse that he runs faster than Kyogo. Bring back McAvenny. Fuck it. Where's all the birds? The wee Japan manager fucked Kyogo's head up. Yep. I'm 50-50 actually on it. The Ladyboys. Still on about that. The yes vote was from me on 10 different phones. Says, oh, it's not shocking, really. It's just all banter. Kyogo's a snowflake. Yes, that. For the snowflake generation of Celtic football fans that go into complete meltdown when we don't win things because they never lived through the 1990s to know real hardship at Celtic Football Club. Rogers knew that he was leaving also. Yeah, he did that. Um, Joseph Davis is Ray. Quickie. Oi, oi, oi. I would rather roast Desmond up front than Kyogo just now. Ooh. Shin runs like Kyogo. Yeah, backwards. Right, I'm going to jump through these comments. Brenton Rossi picked Adam Ida over Kyogo. That was part of the problem. But to be fair, I mean, Kyogo was missing shot after shot after shot. We're running with zero strikers just now. This is very throw, my friend. Any actual quality if he would stay injury free. So is Cameron Carter Vickers. He's real quality if he would stay injury free. So is Jota, but he's injured. So, so is half our first team. But anyway, we need a bike striker who can hold the ball. Yeah, we do. Could be the story of Celtic's season, isn't it? Unlucky. Oh no, don't say that. I'd rather see GG back than the Grumpy Greek. Can he get the Grumpy Greek back? He's been like Kyogo. He's been at about half a dozen different clubs. Oh, it's a Saturday morning. It's descended into not so much a farce, but I just Ray's off. He's not really, but Celtic Hibs Motherwell treble. There we go. Hib versus Diets at 12:30. Yes, it is that. Can Johnny Kenny still do the magic, but needs to play every game? Yeah, he still can. Ah, Jesus, that's really going backwards, isn't it? Right, anyway, there is some football on today. We started off the video talking about Peter Grant and several other people online have been talking about the fact that Kieran Bowie could be a good piece of business to Celtic. We did have a look at the stats to compare Kieran Bowie to our very own Johnny Kenny. Even though that Kieran Bowie is Scottish, he is 23 years old. He has a market value of 1.4 million euros, but people are saying that Celtic should go out and spend £3 million for him. When you look at the stats for the player, the goals, that's the heat map of his 39 shots at goal. 39 shots at goal. And he's played 1,336 minutes. He has played double the minutes of Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny, who is obviously a Celtic player, there's his heat map for shots. He's had 31 shots on goal, only scoring 4. But he has played less than half the game time of Kieran Bowie. Now, if you play double the game time, if he plays the same game time as Kieran Bowie, surely Johnny Kenny scores more goals than Kieran Bowie, who is going to cost a lot of money. But it's just an interesting one for a Saturday morning. I mean, Johnny Kenny's market value is only €609, whilst Kieran Bowie, his market value is 1.4 million. Interesting. Anyway, make sure that you join me for the team news as that comes out. We'll do the team news live. If I'm back in time, should we do a first half? No, I can't. I'd have to jump. Gene. Any actual singing Feliz Navidad, even worse. I'm sure he was pissed during all those Christmas videos. Yeah, this is true. Anyway, send Kinney to Hibs. That's an idea. And then we'll see. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? if we buy the Hibs striker and send Johnny Kenny to Hibs, and Johnny Kenny starts firing goals after goals after goals because he's getting double the game time. Ray Ray's right on it. He's throwing a bomb in there. Sam Massell, Shankland, not a chance. Anyway, make sure that you join me for an hour and a half before 1:30, an hour and a half before the game kicks off this afternoon. We'll get the team news from Celtic as their team news comes out, and then make sure you join me for the watch along. That should be interesting today because hopefully we should have some new stuff coming on the screen with the watch alongs. It's not been updated yet. We'll be updated in about a couple of hours. Anyway, thank you to the how many people watched the live this morning? 1,100 people watched the live. Do you agree with Sutton to bring Johnny Kenny back to Celtic? Oh, 35% say yes, 65% say no. Let's finish off that poll. And let's make sure you hit the thumbs up button. See you later, Baz. The boys. Hail, hail, says Paul. You get the last comment. Have a fantastic day. Wherever you are, Celtic fans, and even you, Ray Ray. Go and get yourself a wee lucky bag.